Hello there, welcome to Worms and Warriors, and welcome back to Grand Tactician, the Civil War. This is our Confederate campaign that started just about a month ago in July 1861. We're now in August the 4th, 1861. The previous episode was nice and quiet. We did a bit of recruiting. We've done some maneuvering, and that was episode 2. So this is now episode 3 of this series. So if you missed the first 2, go back and check them out if you like. You haven't missed a huge amount, but you have missed a cool battle in the first episode, and obviously all the maneuvering and whatnot. So just before we get started here, if you are new here, then why not subscribe and go and check out the previous episode like I just said. But also, we have got a whole bunch of recruits available. I've done some recruiting. Let's just have a quick look here. So we're going to get started and look at the units. So Price's Corps, Army, Trans-Mississippi Army, about 10,000 men. We've got a new viewer unit in here. We've got the 3rd Arkansas Volunteer Infantry. It's under Pierce. The fellow who asked for it did ask for it to be under Claiborne, but Claiborne, I like to have him as a division commander, so he'll be getting a division command at some point soon. But Pierce is a really good commander. I mean, he doesn't look amazing just now, but he does get pretty damn good. Just before we crack on as well, I just wanted to mention, somebody asked me about these symbols, right? This is pretty self-explanatory. It tells you on here exactly what it is. So this guy is a West Point graduate. That means basically he's had formal officer training through the military academy at West Point. So he is a qualified military commander, like an officer, an actual officer. Like in Britain, if you'd been to Sandhurst, for example, you would then be an officer, like a qualified officer. This little symbol here means he served in the infantry, so he's better at command infantry troops. He's got some experience at that. And this little other tab, it's his rank. So that obviously varies from general to general. So this guy's a brigadier general. Let's see, this dude's a colonel here with these 3 stars. This symbol here, handy, that this was on. He is a Mexican War veteran. So this guy fought in the Mexican War, but he's not a qualified officer. So he's not like not an official officer, if you know what I mean. He hasn't gone through the academy process. So actually, this is interesting. So Waitman attended the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, but did not graduate. So he didn't finish. He did serve as an officer, a captain of artillery in the Mexican War. So that's interesting. I wonder why he didn't finish. Maybe something I'll have a look into. This last part here is that he's politically assigned. So he's a political general. He's, as we can see here in his write-up, he's a U.S. House of Representatives member, 1851 to 53. So he has political connections, and usually these guys are a bit poor, but they can get better. They're not always poor, but they generally, I mean, if you look at them, this Reigns, he's also politically assigned, I can't speak this morning, general. If you've been waiting around for these episodes, then my apologies that it's a little bit late. I've managed to break my foot like a complete imbecile, and I've been in quite a lot of pain, so I've been on painkillers and stuff. I still am now, actually, which is maybe why I'm not getting my words out quite right. But anyway, things are getting better, and my foot's up here, and I'm recording this episode. Anyway, back to this. So, political officer, yeah, so he's, generally these guys are not amazing. This symbol here, under Forrester, so this is he's a volunteer, so he can only command volunteer units from the state where he's from, I believe. I think that's the case, unless he's a division commander, as Forrest is here, even though he's a colonel. But it's not really much of a division, it's just a couple of units of cavalry, sorry. So back to these symbols, this is obviously Wheeler, he's a cavalry commander, so if we have a quick look through this. Again, if you're new here, then my videos are chapter. If you don't want to watch these bits, just skip ahead to wherever you want to go to. So he's from the cavalry, this is what this symbol denotes. He's a West Point graduate, and he fought in the Mexican War. He's got these 2 stars there for lieutenant colonel, so this guy is experienced. Wheeler is a pretty good general. He's one of the guys I like. Well, he becomes a good general. He's a colonel at the moment, obviously. But yeah, so that's that. Macintosh here, same stuff. See if I can find an artillery guy. There's an artillery guy. Same kind of thing, and his symbol here denotes he's a captain. So that's that. That's what these symbols mean. I'm sure all you guys, probably most of you dudes knew that, but, you know, if you didn't, then now you do. Anyway, so what's the plan for the campaign? We're going to stay put, basically, for now. And then we're going to plan a little pushback in Virginia. Well, so yeah, I'm going to plan. I have planned a little pushback in Virginia because we've lost most of the Shenandoah Valley area. So we're going to send the Army of Shenandoah back over that way to see if we can get that back off the Federals. However, it's going to leave us a little bit open here because we've got the Army of Northeastern Virginia over the river, which is going to have 28,000 men there. And we've not got that much in the way of troops here. We've got the Hampton Division, which I can't click on. There they are, 1,300 men. We've got the Eastern Department, which is our recruiting department in the East here under Clark. Not a lot going on in here either. 8,000 men, but they'll be enough to bump up these guys, the Hampton Division. The Hampton Division will be converted to the 3rd Corps of the Army of Northern Virginia once we get there. So what we've got going on here, we've got the Royal Black Watch Infantry. This is a viewer requested unit being recruited in here. Then we've got a bunch of other units which are not viewer requested, just kind of standard. So while we're talking about viewer requested units, if you'd like a unit in the game, then there's still time. We've still got lots of recruits available here that I'm going to be filling up. We've got almost 50,000. So if you'd like a unit in the game, just drop me a line and I'll happily put that in if I can. As far as weapons requests go, so I'll get lots of unit requests and weapons requests. Usually, if you're requesting weapons, I generally haven't got them. Like, I mean, we haven't got any weapons. So the guy who had the Egyptian Brigade, let me just have a quick check of the Egyptian Brigade. Where are we? There we are, Bushrod Johnson's Egyptian Brigade. So you've got your trousers as requested and your top as requested. However, you've still got Springfield muskets because we've not got any weapons. We've got nothing. Nothing at all. We've got 1 Springfield rifle. Just over 1,000 Springfield rifle muskets, but, you know, what am I going to do with those? Not enough for a brigade. And 500 plains rifles. So it's no good, basically. We've got nothing. And we've got nothing on order because we can't produce anything just yet. We will soon. And as to the comment that your brigade is too small, well, you know, that's life. The brigades will go up and down as the campaign goes on. Most of these brigades are going to start either 1,500 or 2,250, so depending on what state they're from and what troops I had available at the time, that'll be why it was recruited as a 1,500-man brigade, but they will grow as time goes on. What else we got going on? We filled out these forts, so we've got now 3 brigades in these 3 forts, so 1 in each. Fort Hyman's going to have 1,500 men. Fort Henry's already got 1,500 men, and Fort Donaldson will have 1,500 men. So that's a formidable barrier right here. And while we're at it, let's put another 1,500 men into Fort Pillow, another important bastion on the Mississippi there. So these guys, I'm going to take these from Kentucky. Kentucky troops are at 48 support, which is not amazing, but it should be okay for a garrison unit. Let's I'll just change it over a little bit. There we are. So 1,500 guys from Kentucky going in there. It's because I didn't have garrisons ticked here. But anyway, so that's under Hindman. I don't want Hindman. Let's see if we can get somebody else in there. Yeah, this guy looks like a likely candidate for that brigade command. There we are. I don't know why the garrisons keeps unticking. It was ticked before, but never mind. Okay, so that'll be 1,500 men in Fort Pillow as well. So we've got some nice garrisons on the rivers here. We've got to be wary of the Army of the West, which is going to be at 16,000 men. Facing them is the Trans-Mississippi Army with 10,500, and we've got about 2,000 men recruiting into the Trans-Mississippi Department, which again is the recruiting department of the Trans-Mississippi. We also have a Western Department here under Pemberton. These boys are recruiting about 5,000 men in, and they will go into Albert Sidney Johnson's force, who will contest Kentucky. So that's the plan. That's the overlay, basically. That's how we're going. And we've got some Navy recruitment going on as well. I mean, not lots, not a lot at all. We've got CSS Virginia, 37% ready. CSS Mobile at 100%, so they're ready to go out. And we've got this Pamlico, CSS Pamlico, which is a cotton-clad ram. That'll be going out as well. And then I'm building just 4 of these little paddle steamer things. Paddle steamer gunboats, they're just tiny. 2 guns, but they'll be used for scouting and maybe a little bit of fighting on the river. Let's get started here. We're constructing a fort at Richmond, so we'll be garrisoning that with some troops. Once that fort's done, we're going to move up with the Hampton Division to Fredericksburg, and they're going to take the place of the Army of Shenandoah, and we're going to build another fort right here at this river crossing. Perhaps if we place it here, it'll cover both river crossings, but I doubt it. Whoa! This must have done automatically because I didn't want that. Okay, so we didn't actually choose one. Militia Act 2 finished in the previous episode. What I actually want to do, I'm going to go with Industrialization 1 for starting with, I think. I don't want letters of marque, that's for damn sure. It gives us a minus to European relations, and I want to actually work on getting British or French intervention if possible. I've never managed it yet, but possibly. And we're also going to have to work on the Conscription Act. The plan had been not to take this because I wanted to see if not taking the Conscription Act would then keep state support high in those border states like Virginia and Kentucky, where generally it seems to drop after you take the Conscription Act. So if we do Industrialization 1, we can then do arming of civilian ships, which is another decent one that I like. So you get half price or something like that. Let's have a look. 25% of the full cost. So that's we can get steamers and paddle steamers at 25% of cost. So we can then start filling up our river fleets. And industrialization is pretty important. So let's go with Industrialization 1. 25 days. I didn't want letters of marque at all. It must have just automatically clicked that after Militia Act 2 finished at the end of the last episode. Anyway, the campaign's rolling. We're in the process of taking Grafton, but I don't know if we'll be able to hold on to that, to be honest. But if we can, we will. We've got 1,200 men up here. There was no battle in the previous episode. We are moving Braxton Bragg's force up towards Nashville as well. They're going to reinforce this central region. I had intended to have them as a deep south recruiting unit, but it just hasn't worked out that way. But then things don't always work out in a war, which is, you know, that's what you want. I'm tempted to march up and strike the army of the West. We've got 13,000 men at the moment, but it's probably a mistake. Ah, the Madison prison camp's ready. Nice. So we've got prison capacity now, at least. Well, I'm not sure where it is. Not seeing it on here. And I can't remember exactly where I placed it. There's Madison. Ah, there it is. So this is giving us capacity of 5,000, which is not huge, but, you know, it's better than nothing, and we can always let it overcrowd a little. Mississippi Squadron? I don't think so. This is supposed to be a scouting squadron. Let's just rename that real quick. Yeah, so we've got the Army of Mississippi up here with 18,000 men. This is we had advanced towards Louisville, Kentucky, but had to pull Albert Sidney Johnston out of there because he only was up there with less than 5,000 men. We're recruiting some more troops in here, and we're going to form up a new division in the Army of Tennessee, and then we're going to push up into Kentucky. I suspect we'll probably see some action in Kentucky. There's also the Army of the Ohio, which says 90 men, but I mean, surely there's more than that. So we're going to have Bragg's force here as well. That's going to be like a secondary core size unit, which I'll bulk out with a few troops. However, some of these boys will be going into Albert Sidney Johnston's army, which is pretty small. Well, very small. 29th Tennessee Infantry there. Stuart's artillery, 4 guns. We've got lots of things that we need to work on project-wise, but we've got nothing available just yet. It's all taking quite a while. Artillery reform is obviously quite an important one. Rifles, I mean, Austrian rifles is one we can go for, but we want also like legacy rifles maybe to be able to make our own. Confederate rifles is another one I'm aiming towards. Quite a lot of stuff to be getting done. Robertson's German Raiders. So these boys are already here. Cool. Let's transfer them into the Trans-Mississippi Army. Into Forrest's division. So this is a decent division. This 4,000 man cavalry division. That's Bragg at his destination. Okay, so we've got some things available here. I'm going to go with the rebore muskets. I'm not. I was going to, but I'm not. I'm going to hang on and get some better. How far away are we from legacy rifles here? Only 500,000, so I'm going to go with legacy rifles when that's available. Construction of something is finished. Let's see what that is. Fort Sheffield. Ah, that's at Richmond. Okay, that's great. So in terms of a garrison in here, we want a half-decent commander. It doesn't have to be someone amazing. Let's just see if we've got anyone here political who's okay. Whitfield looks alright. He's from Texas. Looks like maybe I'll save him for a Texas brigade, like a real brigade. Butler, not too bad. South Carolina man. Let's put him in there. Oh, I didn't untick that again. Fort Sheffield, under Butler. Let's put a brigade in here from West Virginia, maybe? See, I use these guys because the state support is so low, 38. And they're not really useful to put into field armies. I think they're okay in a fort, but, I mean, we'll see, I suppose. Well, nobody really available there, political-wise. It's okay, let's find someone else. Yeah, he'll do. Okay, so that's going to be 1,500 men in there. We're going to move the Hampton Division up towards Fredericksburg, and we're going to move the Army of the Shenandoah towards the Shenandoah. Not long for these guys, except, well, I mean, Hood's Texas Brigade still a while off. We've got no weapons. That's the issue. We've got no weapons, which is like a real problem, actually. How's it going to take these boys 6 days to join there? They're right next to each other. That's Bragg's force. There's the Army of Tennessee. How is it taking 6 days to move across? I don't get that. The Army of Mississippi is on the move again. The Fayetteville Depot is completed. That's in Arkansas. So where's he going, I wonder? Let's just slow it down a moment. We'll get another couple of little scout fleets going. It's always a concern when you see these guys on the move. 20,000 men in there now. So we really don't have the manpower at the moment to stand up to that. Let's move this scouting squadron up towards Cincinnati and see what this Army of the Ohio's got going on. The new scouting squadron here, the Mississippi Scouts too, still forming at Memphis, so there'll be a few days, I would imagine. So Bragg's now got some troops, 2,500 of them, near enough. Not much of an army for him. Oh, so yeah, they're coming down. Our intelligence indicates the enemy is carrying out offensive operations, so here we are. It's the height of summer, 1861, and he is pushing south with 20,000 men. So perhaps, yeah, we're going to move everybody into the Army of Tennessee, and we're going to have to confront them. Well, I say everybody, I mean everybody in Tennessee. Alright, so we've managed to scrape together about 14,000 men to Albert City Johnson, now organised into 4 divisions. We've got no cavalry. Cavalry will take forever to recruit. We have to suck it up. Question is, where's he going? Is he going to come and attack us? Is he going to come and attack us at Memphis? Is he coming for these forts? That would be welcome. I mean, I think that would be a tough ask for them. Scouting Squadron 1 is at its location. Let's have a quick look at this Army of the Ohio. 85 men, so maybe that was quite accurate. So, well, we're going to let these boys sit here. We're going to move them up to this crossing point. See if that stops anybody from moving. And what we'll do, we'll give them blockade orders. I know it's only one tiny little boat, but, you know, anything is better than nothing. At least it'll annoy them. Ohio Squadron disintegrates. Alright. The fleet ceased to exist. I'm not sure. So it was some sort of navy battle. Didn't really get any notification. I guess they were probably still building their fleet. Hey, so it's 11% blockaded here, so that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and recruit another infantry brigade into our forces here. Not Van Dorn. Yeah, Sibley, yeah, he'll do. Looks like the Army of Tennessee, Mississippi is either stopped or we just don't know what they're doing. Either or, it's not good. I'm going to advance the Army of Tennessee to Hopkinsville. See if we can see anything. Let's go ahead and transfer these guys out as well into Magruder's force. We'll organise these boys into some divisions. And go from there. I'm going to push Joe Johnson into the Shenandoah Valley. Now, I believe it's McClellan down here, so this should cause him some problems because he'll be cut off, essentially. However, the road to Richmond's kind of open as well through this way. So our Mississippi Scout 2's ready. I'm just sending them up the river a little bit. Let's see if the Mississippi Squadron itself, our main river force, is ready. Still 2 disabled ships. I mean, not sure. Alright, so it's still waiting on being finished construction, maybe? Damn it, we had to issue bonds again already. Oh, okay, so that's... Let's just slow this down. We've just got industrialization 1, but we just... Oh! The Army of the Mississippi is coming down the Mississippi. And the Army of Tennessee is here as well. Oh my gosh. So I'm not sure why we just sailed straight past their fleet on the water, which, you know, is ridiculous. But they are heading down south somewhere. Where on earth are they going? So they're heading towards Memphis, it seems. But surely they can't just glide past this fort. Okay, well, if they're playing that game, why don't we go up here and take Louisville, Kentucky, and give them something to think about? Recruit a couple more units into the Western Department here. So he's been slowed down at this fort, okay. The question is, can Fort Pillow hold? They've only got 47 men in there, so I seriously doubt it. And that's then going to leave Memphis wide open. Maybe I've made a mistake sending Albert Sidney Johnston up north. Let's countermand those orders, actually. And we're going to send him down here, and we're going to fight a battle. Okay, so we've taken Winchester back and this supply depot. We're going to move down here. Let's see what we've got. I mean, we could be hugely outnumbered. If that's the case, we'll pull back. But if not, we're going to fight McClellan down here. And we're also going to fight in Tennessee, it seems. Okay, so we've engaged McClellan. Unknown unit. It's the Army of Occupation, of course. McClellan versus Joe Johnston. So let's get into it. Got a fight going on here. So, well, haven't got as many guns as him. We haven't got as many men as him. We haven't got as many cavalry as him. So, I mean, it should be interesting. Let's see how this goes. The difference being, our boys have fought a battle. These guys are not all raw recruits. I mean, some of them are, but not all of them. Battle of Newmarket, Virginia, September the 2nd, 1861. So the second pretty big fight for this stage of the war in Virginia. Nice. And an offensive scenario for us, of course. And a river to cross to do so. Excellent. Oh, my God. Oh, maybe not a river to cross. We can deploy on the other side. That's at least something. Okay. Light rain. That's okay. Let's see what we've got here. Oops. Very sensitive mouse. So we've got Jackson's division with the 4th Brigade under Kirby Smith and the 1st Georgia Regulars, who, as you might recall, did an amazing job in that last battle. Backed up by some 12-pound Napoleons and the Deering. Now, it's these boys' first fight, but these other 2 units both fought already. Both did a really nice job, as I said. And then we've got the first fight for the Florida Brigade under Perry's. That's another viewer unit here. We've got Frost's Artillery Division. What have we got in there? Not much. 8 guns. Parrott Rifles. And Parrott Rifles. Oh, excellent. We captured them in the last battle, I think. And then we've got Walker's Division. First fight for the Fort Norfolk Garrison. I've just moved them out. Actually, I should have renamed them. I mean, 950 of them, but, you know, better here than in that fort. Then we've got the 33rd Virginia Infantry. So these boys were newly requested. There they are. There's your men. Then we've got Hughie with his 3rd Brigade. And that makes up that division. And then we've got a tiny little cavalry division of 295 men under Jeb Stuart and Fitzhugh Lee. Okay. So there's not much to this setup, to be honest. we're going to approach. And we're going to fight. We'll fight probably in this plain, I would imagine. Got a creek to cross. Got terrible terrain, actually. But we'll have to deal with it, even though we are outnumbered in this fight. But this is just the way it rolls. I always seem to be on the offensive in these battles at the moment. But anyway, let's get started. 1300 hours. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to advance up to here. And then we'll start thinking about sending out some scouts to see what's what. At least we've got half-decent roads to go along. And a bunch of our troops are experienced, which is obviously helpful. 33rd Virginia Infantry leading the way. 1st Georgia Regulars with Springfield Rifle Muskets. The weather caused a little bit of trouble seeing in the distance, but that's all right. A little drizzle won't hurt, even if the men may complain. From a general's point of view, the light rain hinders visibility only slightly while reducing dust and the lingering of smoke. So it's helpful to us, really, much as it'll be annoying to the guys on the ground. Is this enemy troops? Somehow we can already see these guys. I'm not sure how. There's no way we should be able to see them standing there. Anyway, never mind. Well, Loring and Yuji are way out in front. Obviously keen to get into the scrap. The one little benefit you have when you're attacking, of course, is that you can choose when to go ahead. Up to a point, I mean, unless he comes and counter-attacks you, but it means it gives us, our men, a chance to rest up and regain their cohesion and things like that. The training of all our boys is poor. Some of these brigades are very small. Perry's Florida Brigade, 1,157 men. So somebody told me to turn off the AI stance, but like, surely this is off. I haven't selected anything for the AI to do. There's no option for it to go off. Unless I'm missing something. Oh, initiative, that's it. That's the one I... Let's turn that off. Do I need to turn it off for all of them? Let's see if that makes a difference, because I quite often complain that they do stupid things. Long-range orders for the infantry. Moving forward with Fitzhugh Lee's cavalry regiment to have a look, see what we can see. I wonder if it's worth sending guys around this flank. I don't think so. Especially not bearing in mind how outnumbered we are, actually. And we're coming off a 1700 hours, so I mean, it's already pretty late in the day. Majority of the fight will be happening tomorrow. Taking some artillery fire, which is interesting since we can't even see those boys. Ah, there we are. So they're very well dug in here, and we will have to perform some sort of flanking maneuver. So we're going to pin them in place from the front, but somebody is going to have to go around. At least one brigade is going to have to go around. Still taking some artillery fire, but I think we're okay here. It's some distance, and I think we'll be all right. I mean, if we start taking more casualties, then obviously we'll pull them back. This is going to be a tough nut to crack, for sure. I'm happy to let them waste their artillery ammunition on our cavalry. It's going to be a grim advance up through the woods, but we're going to take our time with it. We're going to send this whole division round. We're going to fight them in two places, which, you know, it's always risky dividing your force, especially if you're outnumbered like we are here. Damn it, we're just out of range. So hopefully this infantry will remain undetected so we can get around the flank and hit them tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow because it's already 1800 hours. Alright, nice. Let's just slow this down. So our rifled artillery should be able to hit them quite nicely. We're going to set these boys to counter battery fire. So they're actually hitting this battery, which that's fine. I don't mind as long as they're firing at someone. I'm not sure if it's too late to press this attack, but let's get these guys around here. I'm going to detach the guns. Oh, not rally. And then Jackson's infantry is going to move up. Pretty ineffective fire from the artillery, but it's to be expected. So it's 8 o'clock, fight's over, 2000 hours. Okay, so it looks like we can't even fire from here. I made some defenses, but I know they can't. That's okay. Okay, so we've got some parapets here for these boys to be behind. We'll let Jackson's men recover before they push on, and Walker's boys are going to hit them in the flank. Let's start day 2. I've never redeployed over here. I mean, really? So yet again, it's going to... I don't really understand why he's done this, but, you know. He sacrificed Rosecrantz's brigade by the look of things. Broken. Okay. Here comes our flank attack. Walker's division, 5,500 men. Okay, so far so good. Keep pressing them. Let's see if we can break Morris's brigade here. Yes, and there they go. Nice. Mahon's going to push forward. He's taking the objective here as well. Heavy fighting on the right flank. Pulling my horn back a little bit. 33rd VA doing a nice job. Another tough fight here, but I think it was well executed, if I do say so myself. Let's keep pressing. Yeah, they're pulling back. Excellent. So I think I went pretty damn well. Minor victory, but you know, not bad. Whoop. I don't understand what happened there. It just kind of flicked straight through the screens. We'll have to look at the casualty numbers after. It'll tell us in the after-battle report, of course. So the Battle of Newmarket ended on September the 3rd, 1861, with a Confederate minor victory. We lost 850 men. They lost about 2,000, along with all their artillery, I want to say, or certainly a decent chunk of it. So that was a nice little victory. Hopefully it'll shift the balance of power a little bit in Virginia. We captured 1,000 rifles and 10 guns. 271 enemy have been captured and taken to our POW camps. Excellent. So let's have a little look if we captured any decent weapons. I doubt it, but maybe we did. A handful of model 1817 rifles. No Springfield rifle muskets. 3 12-pound Napoleons. 3? We got 6,000 Springfield muskets. I think maybe we captured some of them. Maybe that was 1,000. That's actually handy. As sad as that is handy because we have got a lot of troops with mixed muskets still. Let's see if we can give out some. Actually, we've got nobody at all with rifles in this whole army. Not one single rifle musket in here. That's bad news. Oh, but we can't actually equip Patton Anderson's brigade with rifles. We've got enough for that. So at least we've got 1,100 men with rifles. Not even enough Springfield muskets to give out for these boys. Okay, so what we got here then? We've got Pillow's division, Hayes and Johnson. That's the Egyptian brigade and 128th Le Terrible. Both armed with Springfield muskets. They're backed up with 12-pound Napoleons. We've got Bates, 29th Tennessee Infantry. Springfield muskets. Jackson's Florida brigade or something? No, Georgia boys. The mixed muskets for them. 12-pound howitzers. Then we've got Stephen D. Lee with his brigade from Louisiana with Springfield muskets. Patton Anderson, who've just given out the rifle muskets to. Backed up by 12-pound howitzers again. Then we've got Kershaw with his brigade from Tennessee. And Iverson Jr.'s brigade with his brigade from Tennessee as well. Mixed muskets for those boys. And backed up with 12-pound field guns. Not amazing. Aha! At last. Okay. So we've got a bit of money here. Like, I think legacy rifles is what I'm going to go with. It's going to open up the ability to make Mississippi rifles and Plains rifles. We're going to do that. And next up we'll go with Confederate rifles. So just before we're going to hang up this episode, let's order some weapons. Okay, so what we've got some 12-pound howitzers on order. 168 days for them. And 24-pound howitzers also 168 days. So 75 of each. That'll help us on our artillery front. So next up we've got Plains rifles. Let's order some, but they're going to take forever. Even 1,000 would take 81.7 days. 10,258 days. Okay, well, it is what it is. The Mississippi rifle is preferable to the Plains rifle because it has this bayonet, which actually looks like a sword bayonet. Equipped with a sword bayonet, yeah, so nice. 258.3 days. Is that the same as the Plains rifle? Yeah, it's the same. What about the cost? 6 million. 6 million. 25,000 of them will take 400 days. We're about 10,000. Alright, so we're going to have 20,000 rifles arriving in like just under a year. 9 months' time. Excellent. So for the next campaign and season, at least we'll have 20,000 rifles to give out. Plus, we'll hopefully by that point have either Austrian rifles or British rifles, so we can order some more in. But that's a nice start. So this was a decent battle over here. It'll be interesting to see where McClellan goes to. Have they got standing? No, they haven't. So where's he going to retreat to? That's the question. Is he going to teleport through and go towards Cumberland? I'm not sure. We'll see. But that was a nice butt kick in there. Good job from Joe Johnson and his men. We'll advance time slightly. To see where he goes. Didn't seem to be going anywhere. See how these boys did. Gordon, negligible casualties, so it doesn't even tell you on here. So I think it was like 5 or 6 when I looked at it last time. 182 casualties inflicted, so that's a good job there. Loring's boys, let's have a look at these. This is the 33rd VA. suffered 304 casualties and inflicted 387. So they suffered some bad casualties, but actually they were critical to the success there. Hughes boys, 345 inflicted. Mahone, 153 lost, 202 inflicted. So not bad. I mean, it's a tiny little unit. Gordon's, we already looked at. Smith, suffered 315, inflicted 270. Bad. Perry's boys, 55 casualties and 197 inflicted. Deering's artillery, 39 casualties inflicted. That was the 12-pound Napoleons. What about Frost's division? Doesn't say. Doesn't say. Lee. These boys suffered like 15, 16 casualties and inflicted 172. Nice. Gordon's looking good. His stats are all on the up. Now you're ready to the bump for Brigadier General. That'll be coming soon enough. Kirby Smith looking nice as well there. Perry. I think he's improved a little bit. Yeah. Jackson looking good. Joe Johnson looking good as well. Spot on. Okay, so I'm going to leave it here. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you enjoyed the battle. I enjoyed fighting that battle. Actually, it was pretty cool. It was a nice little maneuver. I mean, the AI could obviously have done better, as usual. But, you know, it's just the way it is. So the next episode, we're going to be concerned with this over here. That's for sure. I don't understand why the ships don't kind of take part in this. Because surely even just one of these gunboats, these little steamer gunboats, would make a difference here since they're on the river. Oh! Have they arrived now then? Okay, so cool. So the 1,500-man brigade has actually arrived that I put in here. They weren't there to start with. Taylor's battery is broken, however. Or are they not here? I can't actually look at the garrison. Well, I think they're there. I'm not sure. But they're clearly going to lose since it's unstable. And our Army of Tennessee is nowhere near. So that's where we're going to be going for the next episode. We'll probably be fighting a battle down here somewhere to defend Memphis from the Army of Mississippi. Of the Mississippi. So like I say, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you thought of it, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Hope you're having a great day, whatever you're doing. I'll catch you later. Ta-ra for now.